question for the coach from Mark.
Yeah, Todd, you've always said after a victory you don't want to get too high, but you have to feel pretty good about the performance today and the way that you won the game.
Yeah, it was a good win. Like I said, 3 of the last 4 weeks we've been fighting and winning some of these type of games. So to win one against a quality team like that at our place, it helps out.
Were you surprised that Belichick decided to kick after winning overtime toss?
No, I've seen some coaches do that, so that's something you probably got to ask them. I wasn't surprised though. I've seen it done before.
Were you happy when you got that you were able to get the ball first there?
Yeah, you're always happy to get it first, try and score.
Do you think that's a kind of an insult to the offense?
No, I don't think it's an insult. It's a good strategy because unless they score a touchdown, you get the ball back either way. They stopped us a few times in the second half, so they had a little momentum. So,
Todd, what does it show about your team that you can surrender the big lead that you had and yet still in overtime come up with the huge drive to win the game?
Well, we don't want to surrender a lead, number one, but we fought back, and the guys have been fighting back for some weeks now. Like I said, we've grown since the middle of the season, and we're finding ways to pull these games out.
Todd, the Steelers lost, so now you guys are in control of your playoff lives. How do you feel about your chances right now?
That's all you can ask for. We got to get in, get to work, and we got to get ready to go to Buffalo, play a tough game.
Todd, you obviously, this is your first season with the Jets, but the long history of not really being able to get past the Patriots, did you recognize that at all with your team this week or anything? I mean, how did you sort of portray the Patriots in particular?
Well, we weren't trying to portray them. We know we had to win a ball game, regardless of who we were playing or which other team we were playing. We knew we had to win a ball game. It just happened to be the Patriots. We knew it was going to be a hard-fought, tough game, and we knew from last time we didn't make enough plays to win. This time we did.
How did you feel for Quincy? He has the one to go off his fingertips at the end of the game, and then in overtime he has the big catch.
It was great to see him catch the ball. I mean, a drop is a drop, a catch is a catch. He came back in a big way. Quincy was fighting through it all game. He made some big plays for us.
Coach, you had a great scheme today, but talk about the tackling, not letting the Patriots here with 3 big plays.
They made enough of them. We tackle well. We tackle well at times. At times we can tackle a little better. It's something you constantly work on, but I thought they played together as a team, and they fought, and they tried to gang tackle.
What did you think of Marshall's performance today?
He played big. He stepped up in a big game. He's making some tough catches, some unbelievable catches because the guy was draped all over him, and he came up big.
When did you become aware that the Steelers lost?
After the game when I got in the locker room.
Did you let your team know that? That you guys now control? Did you let your team know that you guys now control?
I think they knew before I did.
The gutsy performance by Fitzpatrick, considering the last 3 possessions in regulation, it didn't seem to go that well. But in overtime, the combination of Marshall as well as Decker seemed to click again as it did in the first previous few quarters.
He's been doing that the past couple of weeks, and the guys rallied around them. They didn't panic. We showed poise this time, where in the past we hadn't shown poise. So that's growth from all their parts, and it was a good team effort. But Fitz been playing like that for a while now.
Were you surprised to see them in a one-on-one coverage down there in the red zone like Decker played?
No, you're not surprised. You're trying to stop us from scoring so we can just get a field goal so you have a chance to win. So you got to take some chances down there.
Todd, the coin toss, there was confusion, from the Patriots. Did the guys that you had out there tell you what happened there?
No, they just told us we got the ball. That's all I can ask for. I hadn't had time to get an excuse yet.
You surprised that they chose to kick off there?
No, I mean, certain teams do it. It works out sometimes it doesn't.
What happened on the 4th and 9 in Gronkowski?
We were in 2-man. The guy made a good fake. He made a good throw. He made a good play. We weren't going to limit him at times, but he made a good football play.
Did you do anything particular most of the game to stop Gronkowski, or was it just kind of mixing up coverages?
No, we just mixed it and tried to slow him down some.
You talked about how your team has grown, especially over these last few weeks. How would you describe what you think is their defining characteristics right now, and is it what you had hoped for, when you started building this thing?
No, we're still growing. I mean, we have a ways to go. I'm not saying we've arrived. We won a game. We hadn't arrived yet. We still hadn't gotten in the playoffs yet. We got things to do next week, and we got things to clean up. But they fight, they're gritty, they got character, and they learn how to play together, and that's the biggest thing that we're doing right now.
I realize every regular season victory counts the same, but given the magnitude of what that franchise has accomplished and the stakes that you were facing today, does this victory feel a little bigger or different, and if so, how?
It doesn't feel any different. We've been in survival mode the past couple weeks right now, so just beating them because they're the king of the hill right now. Just gives us one victory. We still got to go to Buffalo next week and win, but it feels good to win a tough, gritty game against a good football team.
Todd, when Decker calls in that winning touchdown pass, what's the first thing that goes through your mind?
It's about damn time. No. I'm happy. I was happy for the guys. They put in a lot of work all week, you know, and to see them fight out and get a victory this time, you know, was good to see.
What did it mean to have Quincy, you know, a guy who dropped what could have been the game winner in the fourth quarter, come back and make that big play up the sideline?
I don't know if he dropped it. It was a tough catch. As soon as he got his head around the hand, his hand went up and the ball was already right there. But Quincy was fighting all game. He blocked well. He caught some balls earlier, and he made a big play there.
I just feel like you guys played defensively top.
We played well most of the time in spurts. We gave up a drive and gave up a touchdown in the second half that we can't give up. You know, you can't surrender a lead when the game is on the line, but those guys fought hard.
Any injuries?
No, everybody that went out came back in, so everybody played and finished up.
Very good.
Thanks.
Thank you, Coach. Stay tight. We'll have Fitzpatrick at the